single day I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Well, hello my kings and queens, and welcome to another episode of Transformational Thoughts that help us to become the unlimited souls that we are created to be. In our last thought, we looked at the power of a sustained thought and how that can help to change our world. If you missed it, please make sure that you go and watch it, because it does form a foundation for today's thought. And that one is called What's on Your Mind? And in that video, we looked at how our thoughts can be used as a powerful tool that can help us and motivate us into taking the right kind of action. And today, I want us to zoom in on motivation itself. So, there's two types of motivation that generally help us to taking action, and each one affects us differently. You have negative motivation and positive motivation. Negative motivation is generally seen as fear-based. So someone puts in the work because they're trying to avoid pain or punishment or anything that can be uncomfortable to them. And positive motivation is generally seen as passion-driven. So someone puts in the work because of the rewards that they want to see at the end of that task. So let's put it into perspective. Let's use an example of two students that are studying the same course, and both of them are seen as hardworking by their peers. Student A works hard because, well, she doesn't want to fail. And student B works hard because she can't wait to graduate and start making that money. So it means that student A is motivated negatively and student B is motivated positively. So, because both of them are hardworking, chances are, at the end of it all, they are both going to pass with good grades, right? Yeah. So maybe the question then is, does it really matter whether it was negative or positive motivation that got them to that point if the results are going to be the same? Well, that is a good question, and I'm glad you asked. I do believe that each one affects us differently. So let's continue with the example of the two students. Let's say because they're both hardworking, they've been awarded, or rather they've been nominated to receive an award of excellence in some fancy award ceremony. And of course they're both excited. I can even see them jumping up and down. They're probably visualizing how it's going to be like, from the decor, who's going to be there, from their peers to maybe someone's crush is going to be there, someone's haters are going to be there, to their friends, and then of course the preparation starts. Student B, who is positively motivated, can't wait to see everybody that's going to be there and how they can now thank them for all the work that they've put into the person that she's become. And so of course she starts focusing on her speech. Student A, who's also just as excited, but in her preparation, she just can't, get rid of that nagging feeling of, because she wants to make a good impression, she doesn't want to fail. And so she in her mind, she probably can even think of things like, whatever happens, I need to make sure that I don't trip and fall in front of all these people that really means so much to me. And so in her preparation, part of the things that she will factor in is in her outfit. Maybe she'll consider shoes that might be more comfortable just to avoid tripping and falling, So of course the time comes for them to finally just go and accept their awards, and as they're walking up, both of them trip and fall. who do you think will be affected more by that experience? Is it going to be student B, who was focused on her speech and how she can thank everyone that is there? Or is it going to be student A, who's put in so much work to make sure that she does not trip and fall because she wants to make a good impression? Imagine the internal dialogue in her head at that present moment, because she did the very thing that she didn't want to do. And she even went to the extent of putting in the extra work and preparation to make sure that she does not experience this. I'm not saying that student B would not be affected by falling, but I do believe that student A, because that was her focus and her fear, she will be impacted more, and it might be harder for her to pick herself up from that type of experience. That is the effect of negative motivation. So when you're saying things like, I don't want to fall, or I don't want to fail, in the example of the student, it means that you're focusing on what you don't want, and the mental picture that you're even holding is of that which you don't want. And like we mentioned previously in our last thought, is that our thoughts and our mental pictures that we constantly hold affect how we feel and the type of action that we take or we don't take. So if you are feeling apprehensive because of the mental pictures that you've been holding, chances are you might not even look forward to the task ahead, and that can paralyze you. And when you're paralyzed, sometimes that can lead to inaction. And in the case where you do follow through and take the action, but it ends up in failure, it might be really hard to pick yourself up from that experience. Look, I'm not saying that negative motivation is all bad, because continuing with the example of our student who was negatively motivated, if it weren't for her fear of failure, chances are she wouldn't have been recognized for her hard work. So it means that it does have its positives, but I believe that it's not sustainable, because what happens if you were to remove the threat that causes fear? So let's say the student does not want to fail because maybe she doesn't want to disappoint her parents, or maybe she wants to please her parents. If her parents were to be removed from the picture, would she still put in the same amount of work that she did because she didn't want to fail? And that is the reason why I believe that positive motivation is more effective, because you are holding the picture of what you want in your head, and you take action based on that. And it means that even if you were to experience failure, chances are, because you have not achieved what you want, it's easy to pick yourself up to continue doing what you want. So with our student who is positively motivated, even if she were to fail a semester or a year or whatever, chances are she would be able to cry over it a little bit, but then she'd be able to pick herself up because her focus is on the end result, which is graduating, or which is making a difference in the workplace, or even getting that money. Either way, she's focusing on something that is attainable to her, that also excites her. So the emotion and the mental picture that she has brings the kind of passion that sees her through. So now that we know the difference between positive and negative motivation and how each one affects us, especially when we have to deal with things like failure, the next best thing is you better check yourself, boo. And I need to check myself, because it's important that we check what is the driving force behind our motives. Is it positive or is it negative? And if it is indeed negative, how then do we shift it to make sure that it becomes positive? Because that will help us to sustain and to continue reaching for our dreams. It's time to take the limits off. Thank you so much for watching this video. It really does encourage me to know that it makes a difference to someone, and that helps me to put in all the work and of course to improve. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. So if you have subscribed, thank you so much, and welcome to the Unlimited Soul Tribe. We are here to transform and to share the positive vibes. And in that spirit of sharing positive vibes, please make sure that you share this video with anyone that you believe can benefit from this type of message. So let's keep it going. Let's spread the love and let's spread the positivity and transform our world. Until next time, remember to holler at your girl on Instagram and Twitter. I love you and God bless.